Good evening. How are you today? My name is Michael O'Keefe, aka the Movie Mystic. I am. This is my YouTube channel, Mystic and Severe Radio. You can also find the show Mystic and Severe on ckcofm.com. Let's check it out. We go to over here. We go to ckcofm.com. We click programs. We go Wednesday. Scroll down. I'm midnight to 2 a.m. alternating weeks. This is my show, Mystic and Severe. So it's a 2-hour show. Talk about, do film industry interviews, play movie tracks, do reviews. It's a party, man. If you haven't peeped it, and you like movies, I just did some South by Southwest coverage, Berlinale stuff. You should dig it very much if movies are your thing. And of course, you can find me on social media. You can find me at movie_mystic on Twitter, Movie Mystic 2021 on Instagram, Movie Mystic uppercase. Well, the M's are uppercase on Letterboxd. And of course, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. It would mean a lot to me. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about the Halfway to Black Friday 2021 Vinegar Syndrome sale, which is going down May 28th to May 31st. Only on vinegarsyndrome.com. So let's peep this for a second. Let's read the whole thing. Well, I mean, okay. It says it's basically like there's a lot of there's gonna be a lot of releases, new stuff, old movies with slipcovers, box sets, let's see. Halfway to Black Friday. Hope you guys are having a good night tonight. And I'm going to be giving you my top 10 recommendations besides, like, the general stuff. It's taking a long time, man. Here we go. No. This isn't what I want. Alright, forget this, man. So there's, like, you can find out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. It's public information. It's going to take too long for me to dig up. So you have 50% off pretty much everything. So it's basically everything, like after this, like Fury, Sexuals, Prostitution, Clandestine, up, Last Gas. All this stuff up here and all the stuff that's going to be added will not be 50% off, but everything else will be 50% off. And some people get confused. So, like, look at this: Hitcher in the Dark. It's $27.99 right now, and it's really supposed to be $39.98. So it'll be $20. It'll be just under $20. So don't think it's going to be $18 right there, or $19 really, $18.90 whatever. That's not happening. It's gonna be like $20. But yeah, I got my top 10 right here. We're going to count that down. And everything else. Let's see. It says right here. So, Six String Samurai, 4K right there. Televised Terror Volume 1. Surf 2. And the Cardona Collection Volume 1. Exclusive merch and so much more. And one thing I think is for certain is we're going to get Forgotten Gialli Volume 4. Which is definitely a must-buy for me. My must-buys are Forgotten Gialli Volume 4, because I have the first 3. And this movie. Hitcher in the Dark, because I love Umberto Lenzi, man. Even, when he does bullshit movies in an RV. Oh my! But anyways, I thought it'd be kind of fun, as someone who does a movie show, buys Blu-rays. I've got a pretty good Vinegar Syndrome collection. Not as great as some of you guys on Facebook. You can check out Vinegar Syndrome Facebook groups. They're pretty wonderful. They got a great community, and if you're like on the fence about collecting this, it's fun to see the hardcore enthusiastic people post about this stuff, and some of it will interest you, some of it won't. So some of these movies are available on YouTube or Tubi, so if you're on the fence, maybe you watch it first in a lower grade quality before you get like the red carpet treatment of some of these movies. But collecting Blu-rays is awesome. So my number 10 pick is this movie, which I can't say out loud because I was raised Catholic. I'm not a practicing Catholic, but I was raised Catholic. And maybe my mother's watching this stream. So it's 9 Lives of a Wet Woo 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 Woo, and it's directed by Abel Ferrara. So yes, this is a porno flick, and you can't get this incredible slipcover right here, which just covers the standard edition. That right there, that X cuts it out. I personally have it. I have all these movies I'm going to recommend. Thankfully, I'd be a poser if I didn't. But it's a party. Look at that! What a nice pipe, huh? Talk about pipes. This is Abel Ferrara's true first movie, not the driller killer, 9 Lives of a Wet Ooh Ooh Ooh. Because, he did not want to acknowledge it as such for a long time. But, bro, it is. It's the first movie you made. Some people, distinguish cinema and hardcore. I'm starting to realize that they are one and the same. They're obviously more hardcore. But, cinema, how are they not movies? I don't know. So, let's see. I'm not going to read the storyline here. Or, yes, I will, actually. So, this special limited edition die-cut X slipcover, beautiful, is limited to 2,000 units, and it's only available here at vinegarsyndrome.com. But it's not anymore. It's gone. Pauline, a wealthy and bored socialite, has a secret relationship with an opium-smoking, tarot card reading mystic. Ooh, sounds like my kind of person. Known only as Gypsy. Recording and reporting on her various sexual experiences, as well as those of her friends, Pauline and Gypsy each use each other to explore their darkest sexual and emotional recesses. But as Pauline begins to pull away from her emotional connection to Gypsy, Gypsy herself realizes that she must keep Pauline under her control at all costs. The notorious debut feature from future acclaimed filmmaker Jimmy Boyle, that's hilarious, 9 Lives of a Wet Ooh, which was shot under the more appropriate title of Nothing Sacred, is a sexual fever dream laced with astute commentary on our religion, class, and general mysticism. Written by Nicholas George and photographed by Francis X. Wolf. And with a throbbing jazz-infused original soundtrack composed by Joseph Dalella. Oh my god, the guy did the music for Bad Lieutenant and The Addiction. 9 Lives of a Wet Ooh has long only been viewable in poor quality and censored editions. Vinegar Syndrome is pleased to present the world Blu-ray debut of this fascinating chapter in New York City-made underground cinema, newly restored from its original 35mm camera negative, with its most controversial sequence fully intact for the first time since its initial VHS release in the early 80s. Abel Ferrara, baby. A man who I met. I got a picture with him. A horrible selfie. I got 1,000 gins in that shot. But that's okay. Because for a minute, Abel Ferrara was my pal for life. And of course I'm going to recommend this. I believe this is the only Abel Ferrara movie available on Vinegar Syndrome, through Vinegar Syndrome. And it is certainly unique. But full disclosure, you got to be a porno person or be at least porno forgiving to venture into this. It's not going to win you over if you don't like porn. So don't buy this if you don't like porn, okay? And then we've got pigs. Pigs. So this is a bit more of an inspired choice. You know, I don't have a personal connection to the filmmaker or anything. Maybe the composer, Charles Bernstein, but, you know, even that's kind of a stretch. Beautiful slipcover, which you unfortunately cannot get. I do have this slipcover. I bought it on the last halfway to Black Friday sale through Vinegar Syndrome. A sale which I spent entirely too much money on, I will fully admit, as a wage slave. I will be partaking in the sale this year, but I will be watching it, man. Because COVID didn't just start. I'm not going totally crazy. Perhaps I'm already crazy. Look at this great slipcover. It's so graphic. Jeez. The 13th pig. Friday the 13th pig. And this is like a, sort of a cerebral movie, sort of a cruel movie. Sort of a bizarre movie, sort of an amateur movie. But a movie with attitude, spunk, and character that I can really get down with. These are great shots. You really, if you like, you know, sleazy movies from back in the day. So this is what you'll get if you get the standard edition. You should really go for Blu-rays, though. That's what I'm saying. So, here we go. Oh, I forgot to mention on Nine Lives, you get this great commentary track by the wonderful Sam Deegan. Worth the purchase. So, Lynn Webster is a mysterious and beautiful young woman with a deadly secret. After arriving in a secluded California town, she takes a job as a waitress for Zambrini, an elderly former circus performer who runs a small cafe, complete with a pen of 12 hungry pigs. Local legend has it his pigs only eat human flesh, and that in order to satisfy their growing appetites, Zambrini has begun to murder drifters. Soon the sheriff begins to get suspicious of the strange goings on at the Zambrini farm, and grows closer and closer to discovering the shocking truth of the pigs. Directed by character actor Mark Lawrence and starring his daughter Tony as Lynn, Pigs is a suspenseful, an atmospheric psychological horror film featuring claustrophobic camera work by Glenn Rowland, who did Elsa She-Wolf of the SS, and a haunting score by Charles Bernstein, who did Cujo and A Nightmare on Elm Street. Vinegar Syndrome has this amazing movie, blah, 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 blah. You get interviews with Charles Bernstein, notably, cinematographer, blah, 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 blah. Is there a commentary track? I forget. No. Alternate takes, blah, 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 blah. But this movie is really cruel, weird, cerebral, and not polished, opposite of polished, raw. Let me give it to you with no trivia. We like cocaine straight from Bolivia. Anything else? It's too bad you can't get the slipcover. Same with Nine Lives. Moving on to another movie you can't get the slipcover for. In the Cold of the Nights, my favorite 90s cable ripoff of Brian De Palma's Body Double. My favorite and least favorite one of those movies. It is the only one I've seen like that, and it got a special place in my heart because it is such a thing exists. Again, I have the slipcover, you don't. Ha ha. A lot of weird dreams, bodacious dudes, getting lots of girls. Too many girls. Getting too many girls. But there's one girl that's going to be more special, and that's her. I mean, she's great, but it's her. Visions and darkness, moodiness, life. Look at that. Back when CDs were brand new. Now that's a cool silhouette, right? High-profile fashion photographer Scott Bruin has been suffering from a series of increasingly disturbing and violent dreams, in which he savagely attacks and murders a young woman. Fearing for his sanity, Scott begins to investigate these strange visions, but slowly starts to believe that these all-too-real seeming nightmares might not be dreams after all, and that the woman in them is in imminent danger. As this investigation progresses, Scott unwittingly finds himself at the center of a sinister conspiracy much stranger than his wildest nightmares. An ultra-stylized, De Palma-esque, there you go, I didn't make that up, neo-noir erotic thriller from cult filmmaker Nico Nestrokis, who did Island of Death and Blind Dates. In the Cold of the Night stars Jeff Lester, who was in Star Trek 4, Adrian Sachs, wow, RoboCop, Brian Thompson, David Soul, and Shannon Tweed. Along with a guest appearance from Tippi Hedren, who was in The Birds, for God's sake. I mean, De Palma's ripping off Hitchcock, and this movie's ripping off De Palma. And it's got even Tippi Hedren. It's like the snake eating the tail. It's a full circle. And striking cinematography by Andreas Bellis. Whew, he did a thriller, cool picture. That's incredible. Vinegar Syndrome brings this Skinamax gem to Blu-ray. Newly restored on 4K from its original camera negative, blah, 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 blah. You got an old archival behind-the-scenes featurette, trailer, little pictures, gallery. But the movie's just cool. It's a sexy, weird trip fest. Which, if you know my taste in movies, that's my kind of thing. Alright. So we've been talking about sexy movies and a horror movie. Now we're going to get into some blaxploitation. So it's unfortunate because Sweet Sweetback's badass song is no longer available through Vinegar Syndrome. There must have been just a quick little thing they got, like a licensing deal, because like Rad, it's over. Sometimes these things just kind of come and go, and you can never get them, and it's over. However, you can buy Penitentiary. So this slipcover I do not have. I have the standard edition. Yep. But I've seen this movie in 16mm, and you haven't. I've seen it in the New Beverly, 16mm, and you haven't. And yeah, it's cool, man. It's a good movie. Jamal Fanaka doing a really intense prison movie. Boxing in prison. And then the sequel, which Vinegar Syndrome also put out, Penitentiary 2, it's totally different in tone. It's much, much more lighthearted, sort of campy, actually. I do like it, actually. I like Penitentiary 2, but I do prefer the first one because it's just raw energy, man. This guy's amazing. I love this guy. I don't know if he's given that monologue in this shot, but that's a great monologue. Oh, the ladies. Yeah, this movie is rough around the edges, and I think it did pretty decent business actually back in the day. It was fun to watch in Los Angeles, and you got to get on this because it's only 432. This is the thing, like this is just the standard edition. After this is gone, let's see okay. So in the Cold of the Night, you really should have no problem getting that. Pigs, same thing. 9 Lives, I think this is the same thing, yeah. But Penitentiary is going faster than those other ones. So keep that in mind. Leon Isaac Kennedy stars as Martel, aka Too Sweet, who, after unwittingly getting involved with a prostitute and attempting to save her from being assaulted by a John, which turns deadly, finds himself charged with the murder he didn't commit. Locked up in the state penitentiary, Martel is forced to fend for himself among hardened criminals until he's introduced to the underground and lucrative world of prison boxing. Director Jamal Fanaka's breakout action hit, Penitentiary remains one of the seminal late period blaxploitation films. Gritty, violent, and maddeningly entertaining. I mean, that may be a bit of an exaggeration. But anyways, Vinegar Syndrome presents the Blu-ray debut of this genre film classic, newly restored and blah, 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 blah. The interviews are actually not worth blah, blah, blahing over. Sergio Mims does one. He's the second assistant director. And I interviewed him. You can check that out. If you Google both our names, Sergio Mims and Michael O'Keefe. That's what will pop up when we talk about blaxploitation and stuff. But the archival commentary track with Jamal Fanaka is great. Jamal is dead, so he couldn't do a new one. And then the interview with Leon Isaac Kennedy is great. And yeah, same with the cinematographer and the producer. The producer has interesting things, sort of damning things about Jamal, unfortunately. But yeah, like the behind the scenes story of making this movie is really worthwhile. Picking up the disc. I mean, the second one is cool too. There's good stuff too, but this is a better movie. So maybe if you like this and you're a completist, go for the second one. But it's not really a must. I would just go for Penitentiary. And Penitentiary 3, we just don't talk about that. And it's not even available through Vinegar Syndrome. So this is number 7. Number 6 is a double bill. It's the Candy Tangerine Man and Lady Coco. But I'm really more interested in the Candy Tangerine Man. Yeah. And look at this. It's going even faster than Penitentiary, bro. Only 411 left in stock, bro. I picked this up at Sunrise Records. I didn't even order this on vinegarsyndrome.com. I went to the frickin' mall and picked this up. Look at that. The guy has to be a pimp. And this is one character you cannot tell me in real life. This guy. You cannot tell me this guy didn't smoke weed. That guy smoked weed. When you hear his laugh, oh my god. Sort of looks like Fred Williamson. Oh, that's a Fred Williamson shot right there. But Fred will be holding the gun more firmly. And now we're on Lady Coco, which is a good movie. It's not something I'm very passionate about. Yeah. It's great to have a bonus movie, but it's just not the best. Alright. One of the most diverse of all genre filmmakers, whose career included everything from horror to family films. Vinegar Syndrome presents 2 of Matt Cimber's most important blaxploitation classics on Blu-ray for the very first time. John Daniels is the Baron, a no-nonsense pimp who cruises the streets in his signature tangerine Rolls-Royce, taking on rival pimps, pushers, and the men. Baron uses his cunning intelligence to elude the authorities in Matt Cimber's grim and subversive look at the violent underbelly of Los Angeles crime and corruption. A favorite film of Quentin Tarantino's Samuel L. Jackson, Vinegar Syndrome proudly presents the Candy Tangerine Man in its Blu-ray debut. Lola Falana is Lady Coco in Matt Cimber's classic 1975 crime thriller. Okay, it's not a classic, relax. After being given a 24-hour leave from prison, in exchange for which she'll agree to testify against her monster boyfriend, Coco hits the streets but quickly discovers that violence lurks around every corner. Co-starring Millie Perkins and George Flower, Lady Coco is a non-stop thrill ride of revenge. And let's see. Yeah, you get a commentary track on Lady Coco, which is pretty good, actually. The video introduction with Candy Tangerine Man is kind of whatever, self-aggrandizing and stuff. But Candy Tangerine Man is an awesome movie. And that is why that movie is my number 6. My number 5 is an even more outrageous movie than Pimpin'. Well, it's got some pimping in it, too. But it's Welcome Home, Brother Charles. And MMA. So, this is more Jamal Fanaka stuff. MMA is like, okay. It's worse than Lady Coco, for sure. So, here we go. That's what this looks like. That's the back. And I have the standard edition. I don't even know if there ever was a slipcover. Oh, those credits. I'm not going to say anything about that. What's this man doing? Why is he talking to her? Oh my. Hey. Oh yeah, there's pimping in this movie, man. But this is more real life, I'm telling you. Oh no! They reveal the money shot. It's over. But I'm not going to elaborate. I'm not explaining any of that. I love it though in MMA. Even though I said it's like not a great movie, it's it's still a blaxploitation movie or a black movie from the 70s. Sort of fun, kind of not bad. It's a movie. You watch it once, and there you go. You're free side. The top 5 goodies. Right. This is a funny thing. I forgot. I really don't think about this movie very much, but it brings back some memories. Looking at this. Look at that. How California is that? You gotta love the SoCal geography, man. Do 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 do. Godfather of the disco. He's the godfather. Okay. Before directing the legendary Penitentiary trilogy, Jamal Fanaka helmed these 2 offbeat genre films, which helped catapult him into recognition as one of the most important black filmmakers working in 70s independent cinema. In Fanaka's debut feature, Welcome Home, Brother Charles, a young black man is sent to prison after being brutalized by the corrupt racist cop. Upon release, he takes deadly revenge against the cops, lawyers, and thugs who got him busted using a most unusual weapon. As much a parody of exploitation films as it is a proud piece of genre cinema, Brother Charles combines horror and blaxploitation tropes with stirring social subtext, resulting in a drive-in movie unlike any other. Fanaka's second feature, MMA, tells the story of a naive young woman who moves to the Deep South to Watts. Initially finding herself at odds with her surroundings, Emma eventually gains acceptance from a local drug addict and dealer. But when he's arrested and jailed, she plans a daring bank robbery to bail him out. Featuring a cast of mostly non-professionals and shot entirely on location in Watts, this uniquely subversive action film is an insider's view of black working-class LA neighborhoods. Okay. And, yeah, this is pretty good. The LA Rebellion thing. That's a good interview. This is, okay. That's not bad. The post-film Q&A. And that's it. That's all I gotta say about that. Welcome Home, Brother Charles has to be seen to believed. And I'm being coy because I don't want to ruin it, but it really is worth your time. And now, our number 4 pick is actually like 3 movies and is a gateway to many more. It is Forgotten Gialli, Volume 2. So, first of all, I do have this box, and it is a beautiful box. A lot of bugged out illustrations, a lot of great artwork on it. You really catch a vibe with those pictures. And on the side as well, there's stuff. And you've got this movie, The Girl in Room 2A, which I really like. The French Sex Murders, which is very funny. Oh. I'll say it again. Oh my. This guy just looks constantly constipated and looks like a Humphrey Bogart ripoff. And then My Dear Killer. I think that's the name of that movie. With George Hilton. It was a little standard. Oh, this scene's great. That's a great kill. It's a little standard, and he's a little too erudite to be a cop. However, it is still, My Dear Killer. It is still a fun movie. So, look at this. This is going, man, only $710. This is definitely going in the sale. Volume 1 left pretty soon. And these movies are selling well. And Volume 3 is great too, but I didn't want to over-represent this box set in my top 10, so I went for 2. And this is a fair amount of synopsises to get into. But if you like giallos and you want some deep cuts, I really think you will be very satisfied with this movie. It's my number 4. My number 3 is Tammy the T-Rex. Hilarious movie. I do not have the 4K. I have the standard Blu-ray. Denise Richards and Paul Walker, R.I.P. And an animatronic dinosaur, which is why this movie was made. There was access to that. And so a screenplay came out of that. It's a very fun movie. I think most filmmakers, independent filmmakers, take themselves very seriously. This movie does not. It's a really fun one. It's just freaking entertaining. I don't know what to tell you. I like its sense of fun. And this beautiful artwork done by Tom Hodge. Tom Hodge has done a lot of Vinegar Syndrome artwork. And, I interviewed him. And that's available on YouTube as well as on CKCOFM. I digress. Tammy is a popular high school cheerleader whose new boyfriend, Michael, might be the love of her life. But Tammy's jealous ex, Billy, won't stand for anyone coming between him and his girl, quote-unquote his. So he and his friends kidnap Michael, leaving him to be mauled by a lion in a local wildlife reserve. Comatose and at death's door, Michael's body is stolen from the hospital by mad scientist Dr. Washenstein, who extracts his brain and implants it into a giant robotic T-Rex. Horrified by his predicament and new dinosaur body, he escapes from the doctor's lab and begins brutally killing his former bullies. Meanwhile, Tammy and her best friend Byron start searching for a suitable human corpse in which to retransplant Michael's brain. A jaw-dropping assault on a good taste from the whacked-out mind of cult filmmaker Stuart Raphael, who did a bunch of crap. Tammy and the T-Rex features Denise Richards in her first starring role, alongside Paul Walker and other people who don't matter. Primarily seen in its heavily censored PG-13 version, Vinegar Syndrome brings Tammy the T-Rex to 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray fully uncut for the first time on home video, with all of its gross-out gags and gratuitous decapitations, gut-rippings, and head-smashings, courtesy of a special effects wizard, John Carl Buechler, who did Mausoleum, completely intact. It's a lot of fun. The R-rated version is way better. Having seen that a couple times, and the PG-13 one once, I can tell you way better. This is really a crown jewel of the Vinegar Syndrome collection. You really can't go wrong with ordering Tammy and the T-Rex. If I had a 4K player, I would buy the 4K. So, yeah. Really highly recommended. Lots of fun this movie is. Alright, now speaking of 4K, we got Sex World as my number 2 pick. Now, okay, so I have this. It comes with a 4K, it comes with a Blu-ray, and it comes with a CD. Having a porno CD, even if you're never going to watch these movies, is worth the price alone. And at like $22 US, this could be a reality for you. So, great illustrations again. And then a bunch of stuff. I don't even know if I want to look at all these images. This movie's messed up. It's fucked up, man. It's a hardcore porno. It's historically the first 70s hardcore porn on 4K. So let that sink in for a second. I highly recommend it if you like smut. And for everyone else, stay away. Sex World is a luxury resort advertised as the ultimate sex-themed getaway, where any and every fantasy, no matter how outrageous, can be brought to life. Following the arrival of a fresh busload of guests, it becomes apparent that the attendees are in store for much more than a simple weekend of debauched and hedonistic pleasures. Each visitor is forced to confront their unique sexual fears, repressed desires, and insecurities, through the help of Sex World's completely lifelike but actually animatronic lovers. Some find the happiness they've been longing for, while others discover that their seemingly idyllic relationships are a source of unexpected misery. One of the most ambitious hardcore blockbusters of the late 70s, and among the crowning achievements of director Sam Weston, under his most common pseudonym, Anthony Spinelli. Sex World is a haunting and an erotic ensemble character study punctuated with striking visuals and at times abstract set design. Featuring an all-star cast headlined by Annette Haven, Leslie Bovey, Kay Parker, John Leslie, Joey Silvera, and a career performance by Sharon Thorpe. Sex World remains among the most acclaimed and influential X-rated films ever produced. Vinegar Syndrome and Peakorama are proud to bring this landmark work to 4K Ultra HD, our first hardcore feature presented in the format. And they're the first company to ever do that. They're selling themselves short with that statement. But whatever. They're sweethearts. I actually really enjoyed these interviews, too. Like I said, the soundtrack is the best feature about this release. I've yet to see the movie in 4K, though, to be fair. And I really enjoyed these interviews, especially with Kay Parker, when she talks about the kind of man the director Sam Weston was. She said he was like a very honest salesman. He said you'd be great in this role, however you're gonna have to live with it for the rest of your life. So keep that in mind. But keep in mind you'd also be great at this role. Interesting salesman. And he seemed, for a Porter director, to be a decent guy. And that is an interesting thing. Just, from a non-cinematic, but real life point of view, that's pretty interesting, in my opinion. So far, our top 10, we got, Sex World, 9 Lives. What else for sex stuff? In the Cold of the Night, but not really. That's not really a porno. And then we got blaxploitation movies. Well, we had horror movie Pigs, Forgotten Gialli. That's sort of what I've been... And then the blaxploitation, of course, Welcome Home, Brother Charles, The Candy Tangerine Man, and Penitentiary. And my number one pick, my number one recommendation for the Halfway to Black Friday Vinegar Syndrome sale is Dolomite. Truly, though, it's any other Rudy Ray Moore movie you get your hands on in this sale. So it's Dolomite, The Human Tornado, Disco Godfather, and Petey Wheatstraw. I screwed up the order. It's Dolomite, The Human Tornado, Petey Wheatstraw, and the Godfather of the Disco. He's the Godfather of the Disco. I'm a big Rudy Ray Moore fan. This is what this looks like. And of course, you go on Netflix, you can watch the Rudy Ray Moore biopic, starring Eddie Murphy as Rudy Ray Moore. It's all about making this movie, which you can see is truly wonderful, and I believe the crown jewel of the Vinegar Syndrome collection. So I'll read this format and I'll say goodbye. So Dolomite, the baddest pimp in town, has just been released from prison, ready to take revenge on notorious gangster Willie Green, who set him up on a phony drug charge and stole his club, The Total Experience. With the help of his friend Queen Bee and their band of kung fu fighting vixens, Dolomite takes on every rat soup-eating mother effer in South Central. Acclaimed comedian Rudy Ray Moore's outrageously funny and action-packed blaxploitation classic makes its worldwide Blu-ray debut, fully restored in 2K from a recently discovered 35mm negative, and loaded with extras, including a new making-of documentary by Elijah Drenner and a historical commentary track from Moore's biographer Mark Murray, featuring interviews with Moore as well as co-stars Jerry Jones, Lady Reed, John Kerry, cinematographer Nick von Sternberg, and more. So it's true. On all those discs, you have commentary tracks, interviews, little documentary things, and the Dolomite. So they have a documentary on all of them, and then interviews on people, location things. You get a commentary track with Mark Jason Murray. Sometimes he flies solo. Sometimes he plays clips from interviews he's done. Sometimes he's got a co-pilot. And these are really the best movies you get through Vinegar Syndrome is the Rudy Ray Moore movies. So, a recap. At number 10, 9 Lives of a Wet Ooh. Number 9, Pigs. Number 8, In the Cold of the Nights. Number 7, Penitentiary. Number 6, The Candy Tangerine Man. Number 5, Welcome Home, Brother Charles. Number 4, Forgotten Gialli, Volume 2. Number 3, Tammy the T-Rex. Number 2, Sex World. And number 1, Dolomite. Those are my top 10 recommended discs for the Vinegar Syndrome Halfway to Black Friday 2021 sale coming May 28th to the 31st. Be there or be someone who doesn't collect Blu-rays. So that's it. I'm Michael O'Keefe. You can find my show Mystic and Severe on CKCOFM. You can find me on Facebook on the Mystic and Severe on CKCOFM Facebook group. Please join. And then join the other Vinegar Syndrome Facebook groups if this stream has been interesting to you. Follow me on Twitter, movie_mystic. Read my reviews, Movie Mystic on Letterboxd. And follow me on IG, the social media platform I'm the most thrilled by. Movie Mystic 2021. That's it, guys. Take care.